Tour du Mont Blanc Day 1. In the early morning, as the first rays of sunlight gently kissed the wooden rooftops of the chalets in Les Houches, I knew that this long-awaited dream journey had finally begun. The first day's path felt like a gentle test from nature. With light, measured steps, we slowly set off from the starting point. Along the way, the tranquility of the French town and the snow-capped peaks in the distance interlaced to form the most beautiful backdrop. The initial incline was quite forgiving. My companions and I laughed and chatted, breathing in the cool, crisp air scented with wild grass and pine needles. At this moment, the great mountains felt like a loving mother, welcoming us travelers from afar with the gentlest breeze. As the day progressed and we passed Les Contamines, the path beneath our feet began to reveal its true weight and challenge. After passing refuge de Nantes, the slope grew increasingly steep, and the weight of my backpack became distinctly noticeable. We hiked a total of over 20 kilometers on this stretch. To say I wasn't tired would be a lie. As my legs began to ache and my steps grew heavy, I knew this was my body adapting to the rhythm of the mountains. Whenever the going got tough, I would lower my head slightly and listen to the steady sound of my own breathing, synchronized with the rhythmic clinking of my trekking poles against the gravel. That cadence felt just like a heartbeat, calm and reassuring. I told myself, no rush, take it slow. The mountains will embrace and carry all our fatigue. The wild alpine flowers blooming along the trail, the crystal clear streams rushing beside us, and the occasional chime of distant cowbells felt like nature whispering in my ear, gently cheering us on. At dusk, as the sky caught the soft glow of twilight, we finally spotted refuge de la Baume waiting for us at the end of the valley. Nestled in the embrace of the surrounding mountains, the mountain hut glowed with a warm light, looking exceptionally comforting. It felt as though it was saying to our weary souls, "You've worked hard, children. Come in and rest." More than 20 kilometers, we measured every single inch of it, step by step, with our own 2 feet. Tonight, listening to the wind outside the window while sipping a cup of hot tea, I let my tense muscles relax in the warm ambience. I am so grateful to my legs for carrying me to witness such a beautiful beginning. Tomorrow, we start heading to even higher elevations. Tonight, I will drift off into a sweet sleep, filled with awe and gratitude for the great mountains. Today marks the second day of our TMB trekking journey. Our itinerary for today is a classic route that is highly challenging but absolutely breathtaking. We will start from La Baume, approximate 1,706 meters above sea level, and head steadily uphill to cross two very famous mountain passes, Col du Bonhomme and Col de la Croix du Bonhomme. This section is one of the highest points of the entire TMB. The magnificent, sweeping mountain vistas along the way will truly make you forget the fatigue in your legs. However, please keep in mind that climbing high also means a steep descent follows. Take extra care of your knees and ankles, walk slowly, and make sure every step is secure. The midday fork in the road. Once we finally push through to Refuge de la Croix du Bonhomme, we can sit down, catch our breath, and enjoy a warm lunch. After refueling, the trail splits here. We must decide our afternoon route based on where our accommodation is booked for the night. For our group, because the highly popular Les Motettes Refuge is notoriously difficult to book, we unfortunately couldn't secure a spot. Therefore, we have opted for a high variant route. After lunch, instead of taking the traditional route through Les Chapieux, we will head straight up to Col de Fours at an altitude of 2,665 meters. From there, we will follow the mountain terrain all the way down to Ville de Glaciers. Once we arrive, we will arrange transport to a town center for our overnight stay. This way, even without the refuge booking, we can ensure a comfortable place to rest for the night. Crucial safety reminder. While this variant route allows us to cut straight toward the vicinity of Les Motettes, saving us the long detour through Les Chapieux, I must emphasize that this path is significantly more difficult and exceptionally steep. Early season snow. If you are trekking in the early season, June to July, the snow on the mountains may not have melted yet. Bad weather. If you are unfortunate enough to encounter rain or thick fog, this section becomes extremely dangerous. If you find snow on the trail or experience poor visibility where you cannot see clearly ahead, please do not force your way through. In these moments, safety is our only priority. Please choose the standard route down to Les Chapieux instead. Nature is beautiful, but it requires us to approach it with a heart of respect. Adjust your breathing, let's head out together and enjoy today's stunning views. Day 3, Goodbye France, Bonjour Italy. Today is the day I've been looking forward to the most, and honestly, the one I'm most thrilled about on this entire TMB journey. Today we officially say goodbye to romantic France, crossing the border on our own 2 feet into passionate Italy. Last night at the mountain hut, listening to fellow hikers talk about this stretch of the trail left my heart fluttering with anticipation. Everyone said the scenery today is postcard perfect, a breathtaking, head-on encounter with sweeping glaciers and colossal rock formations. Just visualizing it made my steps feel lighter the moment we set off. Distance. From Les Houches, approximate 15 kilometers. From Refuge de Montets, approximate 11 kilometers. Estimated time, 4.5 to 6 hours. Elevation gain. From Les Houches, approximate 1,000 meters. From Montets, approximate 750 meters. The highest peak, Col de la Seine, sitting at 2,516 meters. This is the invisible border line. Cross it, and you're stepping right into Italy. Setting off from the valley, we were wrapped in that familiar, quiet French charm. But as we steadily gained altitude, the French valleys behind us began to shrink, while the horizon ahead opened up into something grand and vast. When we finally made it to the top of Col de la Seine, catching our breath beside the border marker at 2,516 meters, the wind was howling. The sheer emotion of that moment almost moved me to tears. Looking back, there were the gentle, rolling French mountains that had kept us company for the past 2 days. But turning around, we were met with a completely different kind of raw, powerful grandeur on the Italian side, the southern face of Mont Blanc, with its dark jagged rocks and sheer glaciers rising like a towering wall before us. It was so beautiful, so powerful, it struck me right to the core. Pulling my scarf up a bit higher to block the biting alpine wind, I couldn't help but whisper back to the valley, Bonjour, to the France that took such good care of us these past few days, and next up, ciao Italy. Following the scree slope all the way down, we headed toward tonight's resting stop, Refugio Elisabetta. Spotting that cozy little mountain hut nestled in the distant ridge filled me with a deep sense of peace. Tonight, I can finally reward myself with a plate of authentic Italian pasta and a cup of hot cocoa, right? Day 4, walking on clouds, an unforgettable gaze with the south face of Mont Blanc. If anyone were to ask me which day on the TMB gets your heart racing the fastest, today easily claims a spot in my top 3. Today, we set off from Refugio Elisabetta and hiked all the way toward Courmayeur, a charming alpine town in northern Italy. All day long, it felt like we were walking on clouds as we made our way along the famous South Balcony. Throughout the trek, nature bared its wildest, most jaw-dropping side without holding back. To my left, completely unobstructed and seemingly within arm's reach, was the spectacular south face of Mont Blanc. Massive glaciers looked as though they were pouring directly down from the heavens, creating an overwhelming grandeur that completely took my breath away. Meanwhile, to my right lay a deep, beautiful valley. This extreme vertical contrast made every single step feel incredibly surreal, like being the main character in a movie. Trail stats. Distance, approximate 18 kilometers. Estimated time, 5.5 to 7 hours. Elevation gain, approximate 560 meters. Elevation loss, approximate 1,000 meters. Setting out from the Elisabetta hut in the early morning, the air still held a biting crispness. But the moment the sun hit the massive glaciers, reflecting a dazzling radiance, the sheer visual impact washed away all the cold and fatigue in an instant. As I walked, I couldn't help but stop constantly to take photos, whispering to myself over and over, "Oh my goodness, is this really not a dream?" Near Col Chaput at an altitude of 2,200 meters, I found a rock to sit on, gazing out at the dark jagged peaks and the eternal snow before me. At that moment, the mountains felt so immense and I felt so small, yet so incredibly lucky to have made it here with my own 2 feet. However, the mountains have a way of keeping me humble, and the next challenge arrived soon enough. The continuous 1,000-meter descent toward Courmayeur during the latter half of the day truly made my legs tremble. With every step, I felt like I was testing the absolute limits of my willpower and my knees. I silently counted the rhythm in my head, telling myself, "We're almost there." I heard the best gelato is waiting for me at the bottom. When I finally stepped onto the charming, European-style cobblestone streets of Courmayeur, a wave of pure relief and happiness washed over me. I couldn't unlace my hiking boots fast enough. I did so well today, and I definitely deserve 2 giant scoops of gelato, paired with a rich cup of espresso.
Calling out my name. Now mama, don't you cry. You know there'll come a day where I come visit you at home. And if I never stay, the same old now welcome sign, the population getting by, crossing that county line brings back the good old days. With the same old station on the side of that homegrown 2-lane paradise, watching that midnight sky you don't see in LA. This big world will always change, but the small town will stay the same. This concrete tree line's got my head up in the clouds. A good thing that I got my roots back in steady ground. With the same old small church parking lot, I cried when Bobby tied the knot. By God, we never thought he'd give her his last name. Or the ring that I won on the night that we once stayed 14 to 9. Those Friday football lights sure did feel like fame. This big world will always change, but the small town will stay the same. Fuck these freeways, led to freedom. Thought I'd leave and find my way. When this big mad tide breaks me down, I go back to the place where the same old and welcome sign with population getting by, crossing that county line brings back the good old days. The same old station on the side of that homegrown 2-lane paradise, watching that midnight sky that makes me want to stay. This big world will always change, but the small town will stay the same.